Hello there, in the know, 88 here. I know I haven't posted in a while, but this situation that we've all been hearing about lately, about these things going on with this Christian militia group, has caught my attention, and I felt that it was very important to post a video. So, here I go. I have read both these reports of yesterday's and today's. Yesterday there were about 3 people arrested that were inside a militia Christian group called Hutaree. And reading these reports, I read them pretty thoroughly. Reading these reports, I have several of questions to ask. First of all, why all of a sudden after the Obamacare bill is passed that all of a sudden they're going after Christians? It makes you wonder what's in that 2,700-page bill that we got a measly 72 hours to read. Are they being like... is there something in the bill that they are afraid that... That's question number 2. Is there something in the bill that they are afraid that Christians are going to recognize as a prophecy or something? And number 3, why do I get the feeling that this incident, along with what they're saying about the truthers, why do I get the feeling that this is all going to turn into some sort of law being made that people are now guilty until proven innocent instead of innocent until proven guilty, like this country was founded on believing in? Number 4, why were the Christian militia group Hutaree raided to begin with? It didn't say yesterday what the reason was. All that they really talked about yesterday was how scary they supposedly were and complaints of people and stuff. And they even said that it wasn't clear what prompted the raids. So my thoughts on that post was that I thought it was a warrantless search and seizure, and they took their firearms. So my 5th question is, was a warrant issued? And I still ask that, even though I've seen today's reports of why they prompted this search and seizure. Was a warrant issued? If not, then not only did you violate the 2nd Amendment and the 1st, but also the 4th. How were they... Okay, after reading today's reports, they said that the guy, the leader of this group, let me look at this. They say that the leader of the group, David Bryanstone, I think it was him that they said. But anyways, he downloaded some contents or whatever of ingredients of a bomb and whatnot, and they're saying that he did that and contacted somebody that could make it or whatever, and that he was gathering stuff to make it or something. But here's where I'm confused. Yesterday's report, neither yesterday's report or today's report say that they found this bomb, nor do they explain how they were targeting cops. They don't explain at all in this report how they were targeting cops. They just say that it was a covert operation and that he was gathering stuff for it. They don't say anything about letters or anything like that talking about that. All they say is that because cops are a part of the government and this and that, that's why they're targeted. But they don't present any evidence of them targeting cops. Okay? And then it boggles my mind how they say that they were building bombs and stuff, yet they don't say that they found them and that they took their guns. It sounds like they only went in there to take their guns, over 2 dozen of them. And here is what the Second Amendment says. Now, not everybody, some people know the Constitution well, but most people think that the Second Amendment is just the right to keep a gun with you. But really, here is what it says, and I am reading it from what it says right here in front of my face. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And that means there are no loopholes whatsoever. You are not to, we have not only the right to bear arms, but we also have the right to form a militia, a civilian militia group, if we wanted to. And that means that this is unlawful. They're just, if you ask me, there's probably something in that bill now that allows them to just up and attack militia groups. And that's unlawful because the Second Amendment says, and I will post a sidebar so you can read the entire Constitution, you know. It says we have the right to form a militia. There's just so much confusion about this whole situation. There's a lot of questions that are unanswered. Now, the first few questions I asked, you know, tying this to the Obamacare bill in some ways, were opinionated questions, but the rest of them are very mind-boggling. Did they present a warrant? Did they find any bombs, like they went in there to find in the first place? And why aren't they explaining how the cops were targeted? There were no letters or anything. They didn't mention no letters, no nothing. They're just saying that it's just because it's part of the government. So I feel that this whole thing was a practice to target Christians, and bigger than that, targeting militia groups and trying to somehow make it look like militia groups are a threat and militia groups are terrorists when the Constitution says otherwise. There's just so many unanswered questions, and it bothers me because I feel like this isn't right. And I'm going to call it out for what I believe it is, and I believe that it is a false flag. And my final question is, without this evidence and stuff like that, and this being unlawful, why are they getting away with it? Why are the FBI getting away with their unreasonable searches and seizures? And why aren't the congressmen and the president held accountable for unconstitutional acts? Why wasn't Bush held accountable for the Patriot Act? Why isn't Obama and the Democratic Congress and all those others, even if you're Republican, voted for this bill to be passed if it's unconstitutional? Why aren't they being held accountable? And who is in charge of having them be held accountable? Is it the judicial branch? That's what I've heard. But who exactly? I want to know who exactly is in charge of keeping them from doing this stuff. Because it is their job. And instead of going after, you know, I mean, we should go after the congressmen and stuff like that, you know, debates and voting people in and out, you know, they're fired pretty much now that this has happened. But it's not enough. We need to also jump on those who are supposed to make them pay for what they should be held accountable for. It's high time that not only we protested against the congressman and the president, but also the judicial branch as well, because obviously they are not doing their job, because they're just getting away with shredding our Constitution and our rights and our freedoms, and we need to stand up and tell them no. So I'm going to leave you with that. If there's anything else about this situation you feel I need to post about or put in the sidebar or anything like that, please let me know. God bless you, and Jesus bless you too.